What's up, guys? It's the Brantzen Poker Vlog.
And me, Brad, I guess.
And Brad. All right, hopefully I do well, so we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, the nice thing is that I just don't like till, you know. Alright, we got the flush. Okay, he's got a set of eights. We got him. Hold.
Tell him he's got a lot of class, and it's all low.
I'm at the Hustler playing 2-3 for the Brad Owen meetup game. I'm in for $400, and the first hand we're going over is against America's favorite poker vlogger himself. I have 10-7 of spades in the hijack, and Brad opens to $12 from under the gun. This would normally be a fold, but I see a few people on my left getting ready to fold their hands, so at least I know I'll be in the best position. I call, everyone else folds, and the flop comes out Jack 4-5 with 2 diamonds. Brad checks, and I check back. The turn is the 6 of clubs, bringing 2 clubs on board, and Brad bets $15. Since he checked the flop, I think it's unlikely that Brad is holding a jack, and so I decide to put on some pressure now that I picked up an open-ended straight draw. I raise it to $45, and Brad pretty quickly calls. The river is an offsuit 5, and Brad checks to me. After calling my raise on the turn, I revised my earlier thoughts, and I do think it's actually likely he has a jack now. I check, and sure enough, he shows Jack King of Spades. Oh, Brad, you smug son of a gun. I add on another $200, and the next big hand we get into is a PLO double board bomb pot. Everyone puts in $10, and I pick up King, Queen, Queen 6 with 2 hearts and 2 spades. The top board comes 9, 10, ace, rainbow, and the bottom board is 7, Queen, 8 with 2 hearts. In PLO, you have to use 2 of your cards and 3 cards on the board to make the best hand possible. We're playing 2 boards, so the winner of each board will take half the pot. On the top board, I have a gut shot straight draw with my Queen King and just a pair of queens for now. But on the bottom, I have top set the nuts, and I have a flush draw in case another heart comes as well. Brad bets $30, and I think back to that little wave of his. $30 is not going to fly with me, and I bump it up to $120. The hijack calls, and Brad waves at me again, this time a white flag, and he folds. The turn on top is the ace of hearts, giving me a flush draw, and on bottom is a 2. I shove my remaining $268, the hijack calls, and we see a river. I have a flush on this board, and then I have top set on this board. He tables 7-7, 10-3, and we scoop the whole pot. The next big hand we get into is yet another PLO double board bomb pot. Everyone puts $10 into the middle, and I get dealt ace-ace 4-7 in the cutoff. The top board is 3 queen 7 all spades, so I just have an overpair there with aces, and the bottom is 8 ace 4 rainbow. Bang! I flop top set again for the nuts. It checks around to me, and I bet the maximum pot, which is $80. I only feel confident on one board, so I'm fine taking it down if everyone folds. It folds all the way to the last person, but he decides to take a stand and call. The turn comes an 8 on top and the 6 of spades on bottom. Our opponent now bets $240, and now I think most likely he has a flush on top and just turned a flush draw on bottom. I'm holding the ace of spades, so he can't have the nut flush, and I go all in to perhaps get him to fold the smaller flush. If he calls with a flush, we'll most likely chop since I have a set on bottom and there aren't many more spades to hit a second flush. He does call, and the river comes a 2 on top and a 5 on bottom. I flip my cards expecting him to show the flush, but then he shows Queen 5, 6, 7, and my stomach sinks. He has 2 pair on top, queens and 7s, beating my aces, and on bottom, he has a straight 4 through 8. I have the same straight 4 through 8, so I lose the top board and split the bottom board for a quarter of the pot. And just like that, bomb pot giveth and bomb pot taketh away. No more PLO, I pick up aces in the hijack. It's time to climb out of the pit. I open to $15 and the cutoff and button call. The flop comes 5 queen 4 rainbow, safe board, and I bet $35 trying to target any queens my opponents might have. Surprisingly, both of them call, and it looks like I'm gonna get some serious value out of their queens. The turn comes another queen, so now the main hands I was targeting just hit trips. Great. I check and the cutoff bets $65, the button calls, and I can just feel my inner Bruce Wayne falling back into the pit of despair. I fold, the river comes, the 8 of spades, and the cutoff wins with 9-5 of spades for the flush. The button shows a queen and then mucks. Good fold because we would have lost to both of them. Next I have pocket 4s under the gun, there's a straddle so I open to $20 and the low jack, cutoff, and button call. The flop comes 10-4 queen, all spades, we hit our set but have to be mindful of the possible flush. I bet $60, the low jack calls, the cutoff folds, and then the button goes all in for $310. I'm pretty positive he has a flush, and the low jack might have a hand like queen 10, ace queen, or king queen that lowers my chances of hitting a full house. The low jack might even have a higher set than me. I show my neighbors my 4s and I fold. The low jack calls and flips over, ace 3 of spades for the nut flush, and the button shows 7-8 of spades for a flush as well.
Dude, these folds, man, are killing me. No pair, no pair, no pair!
Well, I would have won, but I think I made the right fold. Tell me in the comments what you guys think. I'm not sure if you guys noticed the California smog in the last couple hands, aka my thumb smudged the camera lens, making everything hazy, but it's going away soon, I promise. In this one, the hijack opens to $15, the button calls, and I pick up ace 7 of spades in the big blind. I call, and the flop comes 4 king 2 with 2 spades. I check, the hijack continues betting for $15, the button calls, and I choose to just call and see if I can hit the flush. The turn is an offsuit 10, I check, and now the hijack checks. Since the turn didn't change the board or complete any draws, the hijack would probably have continued betting if he had a decent hand. This makes me think he was weak, possibly c-betting the flop with nothing. The button checks too, and the river is the 5 of spades, and we hit the nut flush. Like I said earlier, from his actions and current demeanor, it doesn't look like I'll be paid off by the hijack. But the button. What does the button call pre-flop and on the flop with? A king? A flush draw like me? Or maybe a middling pocket pair? A king would have likely bet the turn after the hijack checked, and I just have this gut feeling he has a flush like me. The pot is $86 and I have $219 in my stack. How can I get the most money here? I check, knowing the button will definitely bet if he has a flush, and I'll have a hard time folding if I check raise. The hijack checks, and just like I thought, the button bets $50. I pretend to think, then jam all in for $219 total. The hijack folds, and it's on the button.
A really good hand. A really good hand. Alright, fold flush.
Dang, he says he folded a flush and I believe him. Good fold, man, good fold. No more smog, and I look down at queen 10 of hearts on the button. There's a straddle, so I open to $20 and only the straddle calls.
Alright, we'll go with a sweat. Sweat with the table. I like it.
The flop comes jack 6-3 rainbow, the straddle checks, and I put in a small c-bet to $15. He calls, and the turn is interesting. The ace of hearts. It gives us a gut shot straight draw, a flush draw, as well as a small chance of hitting a royal flush. Now, the straddle donk leads for $35, and I just think, why? The ace hits my range more than his, and if he had a really strong hand, wouldn't he want to check raise me? Or at least bet more than $35 here? I call to evaluate a river which comes in offsuit 2. He checks to me, and now I really don't think he's strong. If he felt strong on the turn, he should still feel strong now and should bet. When he checks, I smell weakness and I bet $100 to put on the pressure. He folds and we take it down with our bluff. Let's get this ball rolling. I pick up ace 10 off in the small blind. There's a straddle and the button opens to $20. The button should be opening quite wide here, so I 3-bet to $80 to try and take down all this dead money. And just like that, everyone folds. After that, we're dealt ace king off in the big blind and there's another straddle. The hijack opens to $20 this time and both the cutoff and button call. I have a premium hand now, and I bump it up to $120. Everyone folds, and you can call me Captain Barbosa, because I'm the king of taking dead money. Last hand of the video, but my day is only halfway done. I had to break this session into 2 parts because there were too many hands to cover, but trust me, part 2 is gonna get crazy. Okay, I have king queen in the cutoff, there's a straddle, and the hijack opens to $20. I already 3-bet twice in the last 10 minutes, so I decide to just call this time, and the button and big blind call as well. 4 ways to the flop, which comes 7, queen, 4, rainbow, and the action checks to me. I bet $40 with my top pair, good kicker, and only the button calls. The turn is the 6 of diamonds, and I think I most likely have the best hand, so I continue betting for $100. He calls again, and the river is a 3. Any 5 makes a straight now, but I don't think he has many 5s that call the flop besides 5-6 suited. If he had a set or 2 pair, I'm guessing he would have raised the turn, so I make a thin value bet trying to target a weaker queen. I bet small, $120, but he quickly folds. Okay, what's up guys? So as you can probably tell, that was actually not the end of the session. That was just the halfway point. There were so many hands in this session that I had to break it down into 2 parts, and even then I had to choose the most interesting hands. And so the second half, I actually switched to a different table, so I have the chance to sit with Brad again, which spoiler alert, I do, and it gets pretty crazy. I get put in some tough spots, so make sure to watch out. Thanks for watching to the end of this video. Please like it and subscribe if you aren't already. It really helps the channel. I really appreciate it. We just got monetized, so that's great. So help me pay for my baby's diapers, please. Okay, I am Brantzen, and I will see you in the next one.